Hi friends, welcome to our channel totalqa.com. In today's topic, we are going to discuss how do we handle files, scenarios in Selenium. So as part of this scenario, we are going to write some steps and we are going to automate those steps in a program as well to understand this logic very well, right? The first point. Suppose there are some scenarios in a website where there is a text that is getting displayed. So first thing, we need to focus on a website where there is a text that is getting displayed for us to automate the scenario. So I can identify there is a website here. You can look out our blog. In the blog, suppose I wanted to read this text. Automate coronavirus COVID-19 REST API post method tutorial part 2. Suppose this is the text, I want to read this text. So we can easily read this text in the Selenium easily. So first thing is read the text stored or displayed in the website, right? So this is the text, right? Now the next point is how do we maintain this text? Can we maintain this text in the program directly, or can we maintain this text in a file? So as part of this example, we will maintain this text in a text file. So this, when you read the text displayed in a website, this is becoming actual. When you maintain the text in a text file, it is becoming your expected. So your expected has to be stored in a file and the actual will be read from the website using Selenium automation tool. Then compare the values from step 1 and step 2 and mark the test case as pass or fail. Now, once we maintain this text in a text file, we have to write a logic to read this text from the text file. Okay, so if you wanted to read this text from the text file, we have to write a logic right now to understand how are we going to read a file in Java. Especially Java has provided API of different classes that helps us to read a text file. The classes are file class, file reader class, buffer reader class. These classes are helpful for us to read the text file. So we are going to write a Java logic using these three classes: file class, file reader class, buffer reader class, to read the expected value and compare the expected value with the actual value and mark the test case as pass or fail. So let's get into the Java logic right now. First thing what we will do is we will focus on writing a main method as of now. Public static void main, we will use some shortcut. Now here we are going to write a logic to read the file, right? So for reading the file, we have to create a file for the first thing, right? We have to create a file. Let me create a file now. Select the project, right click on the project, click on new, select untitled text file and maintain this information in the text file. Then right click or else simply close this file. It will ask us to save it. Save. So I can say here content website content.txt and I can select this as my project folder, click on OK. So what we have done as a prerequisite, we created a file. The file name is website content.txt. When I open, this is the content that is available as part of this file. Now we have to read this file, that is website content. If you want to read this file, let's write the Java logic right now. Java logic for reading the file. The file website content.txt. First thing, file is a class available in Java. First thing, we have to create an object of the file class. File f is equal to new file. And we have to pass the file name as an argument. Website content.txt. Then we have to right click here, quick fix, import it, and also yes, that has to be imported. This is not required. Let's remove this as of now. We can add afterwards. So we created a file object, the line number 10, and we pass the file name as an argument. Next thing, we have to create a file reader object. fr is equal to new file reader, but we have to pass an argument for the file reader also. What is the argument for the file reader? Let's see that as well. First, let me try to do the quick fix for the file reader. Import the file reader. Now, in the right hand side, it is expecting us to pass a file descriptor or a string. Do we have the file object available? Yes, we already created a file object in the line number 11. That file object line number 11 we can use as an argument. So let's select the first one which is matching for us right now. It will automatically take the file into consideration. So file reader requires a file object to be passed as an argument, and it is even asking to do some quick fix to put surround try catch or throws. Let's try to put try catch. It's important always to put try catch, okay, to handle the exceptions. Now, once we create a file reader object, we have to create a buffer reader object for reader. br is equal to new buffer reader. Now, let's try to import it for the buffer reader class. We import it. Then again it is giving an error because it is expecting us to pass a reader object. So it is matching. The reader object is already created by us in the line number 15. If you look at this is the reader object. See, this is a reader object we already created. This reader object we are going to use here. We can click on the first option. It will automatically shows BR. And again it is giving an error. The error is here quick fix. It is asking us, okay, it is correct. So we have to pass FR, not BR, sorry. We have to pass FR into consideration because the file reader object we have to pass here. Now, we have to read the file now. If you want to read the file, one more important point we need to understand. Whenever we need to read a file, it is important to pass the full path, the absolute path of the file. So here, the line number 15, we have to pass the absolute file path. When you say get absolute file, it will give the full path of this file, the location from the project C directory to this file. It will give the full path. So it is always important to provide the full path while reading the file. So that's the reason we call the method get absolute file. You can even see return the absolute form of the abstract path name, or else you can even do one more thing, try to use get absolute path. That is also better. Either you can use get absolute file. Let me try to give absolute path. Let's try to give absolute path, not get absolute file. We'll give absolute path. This returns a string also. I think this will give the exact path of the file. Returns the absolute path name string of the abstract path name. So always whenever we wanted to read a file, it is important to give the full path of the file. Now let's try to take a string we are going to read the content of the file, right? Let's take string to read the content of the file. Let's take another string to append the text, right? See, two different strings I will take it right now. I'll explain why we need two different strings. First thing, let's try to read the content of this file. How do you read the content of this file? If you want to read the content of this file using br.readline. So when you say br.readline, what happens? This br.readline, it is giving us a string. So str is equal to br.readline. Okay, again it is giving an error. Right click, quick fix. We have to again put try catch for this statement. So multiple try catches will cause confusion here. That's the reason we will try to consolidate, remove this try, remove this catch, but make sure we will provide the superclass of file not found exception is IO exception. Let's try to put the IO exception here and remove this catch here. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to read the line, and that is str. Okay, so till when this file has to read? The file has to read each and every line till it is not equal to null. The file has to be read each and every line. Suppose there are 5 lines. If you wanted to read 5 lines, this file has to be read first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line till the string is null. So we have to put a conditional statement here while we will loop. Okay, it's not a conditional, mainly we are looping it. So here while str equal to br.readline not equal to null, we go inside, we will try to read the line till when the lines are completed and we get a null string. When you get a null string value, we will stop this while conditional statement, and till this loop is continuing further, we will try to append text is equal to text plus str. So we can try to initialize these values. It's always important to initialize the local variables with some value, right? So what will happen? This will read the first line, store in str, and this str we are appending to text. So this loop will continue further till when the number of lines are completed, and there you find a null string. It will stop the execution of the while loop. Now this is done, and always it is important to close the buffer reader, file reader once we complete the reading of the file. So to close the resources, we always need to use finally, and in the finally we have to say fr.close, the file reader.close, then br.close also we have to add here. It's important. But what is happening when you look at this file reader, buffer reader, it is only visible within this try catch block. It is not visible outside here. So what we will do is this file reader we will try to create here so that it will be easily accessible in other try catch as well. Right? So because this fr is even required here, because in the finally we are trying to close. Again there are errors. Right click, quick fix. Try to throws declaration or surround with try catch. It's always important to surround with try catch. Similarly, we can put br.close here. But still we are getting error. The reason is, let me check. Initialize the variable. It is always important to initialize the local variables, as I said. To initialize the local variables. So what is happening now? This will read the file. This will read each and every line till it is not equal to null. We are appending this text. So this is how you read a file in Java. Okay, because we are using all java.io, these are all Java APIs. See here, java.io, java.io, java.io. Now let's execute this code first to understand whether this is working fine or not. Okay, now so what we have to do is, we are getting the text, but are we printing this text? No. Let's print this text now. The file contents, you can print here. And print it. Right? So we got the text. So we are able to read successfully the file content here. Suppose if you want to add one more line. Suppose if you want to repeat this multiple times, yes, 5 times we repeat it, and again go here and try to execute the program again, we are able to read all the 5 lines. But it is coming in a separate line. So what you have to do is, you can just even try to put system.out.println. That's it. It will show in different lines now. Okay, I think we need to put some spaces, then it will come in the next line. Okay. So here, so when you see the console is giving everything in one line of statement. So what we can do is, now we will try to copy this here, this statement we will try to put here, and just print the file statement within the print statement within the while loop. Then let's execute this. So we are able to get this contents directly. Once we go to the file contents, we get everything here, right? So one thing also we can do, just put str so that we can read each and every line from the file. So we are reading each and every line from the file and printing in the console. So this is also helpful for us to understand, yes, we are reading each and every line in the file. So now we are able to read successfully the file contents now. I will try to convert this into a Java method, public void read file contents, and we will try to return a string which we are appending now, return text. As a response. Okay, so when you read a file, what we are trying to return? We are trying to return a outcome, right? So here this text also we will try to make it as global so that we can use this to return this value. Let's return this value, the text. So this logic is ready. The reading the content of the file is ready. Now next thing, we have to write Selenium script to read the content of the file and compare this with the file content we read. So let's write a logic now, public void validate the text from file, text from web page. So we'll create this as a test case here, and we will try to write a logic web driver manager dot chrome driver dot setup, then web driver equal to new chrome driver, then else we have to do, then driver dot get will provide the URL of the website, total.com, and also we have to read the text. Let me try to open the website down. Okay, then you try to select this text now, inspect, then you can see there is a h2 here. H2 class is equal to entry title. Let's open selectors hub. We can write our own XPaths. Okay, this is not working. Let's take access group path then. Some issue in the selector sub. So it's 2 class is equal to entry title. Okay, how many matching nodes? It is giving so many matching nodes, but the first one is this, I think, right? Or we can even say /a. So how many matching nodes? We are having multiple matching nodes here. It's 2 class equal to entry title, but this is the first one. You see here, this is the first one, even though it matches 10 elements matching, but this is the first one. So we can take this into consideration. Find element by xpath. We provide this xpath dot get text, and this we call as actual. Similarly, we will call expected as the read file contents, which returns a string. And one more thing, in the website content we remove all unnecessary rows. We'll just keep only one row which we are fetching and comparing. So if you look at this website, this is also returning this, and the content is same in the text file also. So we are comparing. This will read the content, this is expected, the actual will get from the website, then result equals actual come expected. That's it. When you click on save and try to run now, see the outcome of this program. Then we will try to run this program as a test-ng test, because it has a test case. Now it will open the browser and read the text and read the file, compare the text, mark the test case as fail or pass accordingly based on the result. Let's see the result now. Yeah, the test case is passed successfully. See here. So this method will help to read the content of this file successfully. Okay, I hope this video will be very helpful for you to understand how do we perform file operations in Selenium. If you like my video, please subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you.